Newcastle, a melting pot of industrial decline, raw ambition, and urban renewal. Amidst this backdrop emerged a man whose life would encapsulate both the brutality and the bizarre charm of Tyneside's Underworld. This is the story of Viv Graham, a boxer turned doorman, a protector with an iron fist, and ultimately a legend whose final hours remain shrouded in mystery. Born in December 1959 to Hazel and Jack, Viv grew up on a council estate near the woods and hills, a place where the simple joys of camping and childhood adventures set the stage for a life less ordinary. As Newcastle's pits closed and the city's streets became a stage for drugs, clubs and raves, a demand for security emerged. Viv seized the moment. With his reputation as a fearsome yet fair doorman, he began controlling the doors of the city's hottest venues. By the mid-1980s, even before he met Anna, the woman who would become his wife, Viv's iron-fisted rule was unquestioned in the East End. But behind the veneer of a respectable door firm lay a dual life. While he collected protection money and maintained order with swift, ruthless punches, Viv also ran a clandestine debt collection service, a means for those who couldn't or wouldn't turn to the law. Despite his violent methods, many remembered him for his occasional generosity. A few quid here, a pint there, proving that even the toughest enforcer had a soft spot for the underdog. The late 1980s brought new challenges. As ecstasy and other narcotics swept into clubland, the once simple world of door security transformed into a battleground for control. Viv's zero-tolerance policy in his home patch of Wallsend clashed with the growing influence of drug dealers in other areas. Yet he was a pragmatist, allow certain dealers a foothold, take his cut and keep his territory in check. But every empire attracts enemies. In 1988, an argument outside a club led to a punch that left a man with life-threatening injuries, a turning point that saw Viv adopt a peculiar tactic. After his knockout blows, he'd catch his opponents to stop them from hitting their heads. It was as if he believed in keeping the fight contained, even if his fists did the talking. All the while, Viv forged dangerous alliances. The notorious Sayers family, and even figures like John Palmer, the man with dreams of dodgy timeshares in Tenerife, dipped into his world, each adding another layer of peril to an already volatile existence. As the new millennium loomed on the horizon, threats against Viv intensified. In the months before his untimely end, he confided to close friends that he feared his time was nearly up. Yet on that fateful New Year's Eve, he still carried out his nightly rounds, checking on his doors at the Anchor pub, then the Queen's Head. On that late afternoon, while picking up cigarettes and dog food for Anna at a corner shop, destiny caught up with him. A stolen blue Ford Escort lurked in the shadows. With a shattered window and 3 close-range gunshots, fate struck a fatal blow. Despite bleeding heavily, Viv managed to stagger back to the pub and even made it to the hospital. Ever the stoic, he whispered to his wife not to cry. Yet as doctors battled to stem the blood loss, it became clear that Newcastle had lost one of its fiercest sons. At 10 p.m. that night, just 3 days after his 34th birthday, Viv Graham slipped away. His empire left in tatters, his legacy forever a subject of debate and mystery. Viv Graham's story is one of contradictions, a man celebrated for his loyalty and fairness, yet feared for his ruthless efficiency. In a city grappling with economic decline and social upheaval, his life was a mirror, reflecting both the grit and the glamour of Tyneside's underworld. Viv was more than just a tough guy. He was a product of his times, a symbol of survival in a city where the rules were written by the strong. Today, as Newcastle continues to evolve, the mystery of Viv Graham's murder endures. Rivalries, alliances, and unanswered questions swirl around his demise. Will the truth ever emerge from the shadows of Wallsend? Perhaps that, like many tales of gangland Newcastle, remains a story for another time. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life, the legend, and the ultimate tragedy of Viv Graham. His legacy may be marred by violence, but it is also a reminder of a bygone era, when a single man could command respect, strike fear, and still, in his own way, show a hint of kindness in the heart of Newcastle. If you've enjoyed this video, why not give us a follow? Like the video and let us know what you think in the comments. This has been The Outlaw Factory.